Hey there! We just got back from seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp. The latest Marvel movie involving shrinky dudes.
And shrinky chicks.
That's true. Tiny women.
Yes. Little women, you might say.
Yes, exactly. I didn't want to go there, but that's fine.
Well, I did, so.
Okay. Well, of course, Josh and Ian. But, before we go too much further, I just want to do this immediately. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Did you think the villain was good, or should Marvel give up the ghost?
I thought the villain was good.
Oh, I did the pun. He didn't even really. He reacted a little bit, but he didn't cringe like I was hoping.
It wasn't that bad.
So it was perfectly balanced, like all things should be?
Yes, it was.
Okay. It put a smile on his face.
It put a smile on my face.
I had to do my stupid infinity dish rag thing. Yeah. Though I lost the time stone in Ian's car.
Yeah, we cleaned it out, so it's probably in the garbage.
It's fine. It belongs in the garbage. I'm kidding.
It does belong in the garbage.
I mean, Doctor Strange didn't use it.
Yeah.
In that fight, so anyway. He didn't need to. But anyway.
So, quick little 2-minute, how you felt?
Yeah.
Spoiler?
Yeah, basically.
I can say that I think movies are impossible to talk about without spoilers, because if it wasn't in the trailer, it's a spoiler.
That's why we start off with the too long didn't read version. How'd you feel? You think this is a good movie? Okay, we're done with that. Spoiler time. Yeah, for detail.
I liked it slightly more than Infinity War. I gave it 7.5 out of 10.
And it's like, we know how you felt about Infinity War.
7 out of 10. That's a glow... My scale, that is a glowing review.
Yeah.
I don't give out high scores in movies.
Yeah, I think we're close to the same. I mean, I'm a little bit nicer usually about things. I'm probably going to be an 8 from me. I really liked it. It was.
I like the villain. I did not like the Wasp's costume, because why would you hide Evangeline Lilly's legs? That's a joke. In all honesty, her costume was just too dark. It was just black and gray, and it was so boring.
That's the Marvel thing, though. Everything's kind of muted colors.
Well, like, Phase 1, the colors were vibrant.
Yes.
Now all the costumes are black. Captain America, red, white, and blue. They got his in Infinity War, his just dreadfully awful... Ronan, is that what he is?
Yeah.
Nomad.
Ronan would be Hawkeye.
Yes, Ronan would be Hawkeye. His dreadfully awful Nomad costume that's just black and gray, and it's ugly. Black and gray is just ugly.
From screenshots I saw, at least for the second part, he's back in the Star Spangled suit.
Yeah, that's what I saw too, which is great. I did like the ghost suit with the white with the 5 red eyes. There was no reason for there to be 5, but it's one of those.
It's similar to the actual Spec Ops night vision goggles in that sense. So,
but there was no reason for there to be 5. It was just a nice little flourish that actually looked good on the costume.
That ghost. Okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked it. The costumes were good. Hank Pym was such a delightful jerk.
I was going to say, outside of Guardians of the Galaxy 1, this is one of the few, not just Marvel movies that actually made me laugh out loud multiple times, because I don't laugh at movies that often. And Monty Python's Search for Holy Grail, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
That's most of the movies I find funny.
I don't usually care much for the supporting cast, but this time I actually liked a lot of them. Louise is great.
I can't really talk about the Russian dude without spoilers.
We'll get to him.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The Russian guy was hilarious.
Little bits of the minor characters I still actually cared about, which is weird, because I don't... That's not a normal thing.
In a lot of Marvel movies, I don't even care about the main characters. I how many Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War?
How many supporting cast do you even remember?
Four movies had Bucky Barnes.
I guess so.
And I could not care less about Bucky Barnes, except for I really think Bucky Barnes and Captain America should stop pretending and just admit they're in love, is make out. Marvel, like, if there's anyone at Marvel watching this, the end of Infinity War Part 2, just when Bucky Barnes comes back, because he's coming back, just have Captain America be like, I never realized how much I loved you, and just have him kiss, and not even like as a joke, just like legit. Be like, here we go.
There you go.
Because there's no way that Captain America risked destroying the world over some dude who's a bro. No, that was love. That was pure love that caused him to smash Tony Stark's arc reactor with his shield.
Progressive. Yes. Why not? Anyway, spoiler time? Spoiler time. Spoiler time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Turn the video off if you haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp.
And, what are you waiting for? Do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Russian dude with Ghost and his Baba Yaga jokes, those
worked really well. He was spooked as heck.
In the scene where Sonny Bono, whatever his name is, Sonny Bono, when Sonny Bono had him tied up and Ghost popped in and like kicked the crap out of Sonny Bono's goons, and the Russian guy started like chanting this weird like
it's nursery
rhyme about Baba Yaga, because he's like talking about how it can disappear and teleport like Baba Yaga. I'm like, okay, that was funny. I thought that was funny. And
using Russian folklore, why not?
In all honesty, if somebody like teleported into my house and beat up a bunch of guys, I'm not sure I wouldn't believe in fairy tales at that point.
Yeah, it's like, you're the boogeyman.
Plot elements proper.
Sure, because we're past the spoiler part, so.
So, of course, the movie has Janet Van Dyne and Hank Pym on the run from the law because apparently if Scott Lang steals a gun...
Hope on the run.
What?
Hope Van Dyne.
Hope Van Dyne and Hank Pym on the run, because apparently if somebody steals a gun from your house and uses it in a murder, then they can throw you in jail too.
Yeah, that was
the Sokovia Accords.
You had a theory that
I had a theory that it was just because of Tony Stark and S.H.I.E.L.D. and the UN involvement wanting the Pym particle.
It's an excuse to go.
The Sokovia Accords were an excuse to go, because if you watch any videos, if you watch the Tony Stark video with me, you know that the Sokovia Accords are literally the dumbest, most childish, stupid, pathetic, worthless bit of plot, but also legislation in the Marvel Universe. I mean, it is bullshit and objectively wrong. It is... You can't make an argument for the Sokovia Accords. It just can't be done. So it's clearly just designed as a witch hunt to try to take control of metahumans, of enhanced humans. I think what the Marvel Universe, Cinematic Universe calls them,
something
enhanced. That's clearly what the Sokovia Accords are. So that's why they used it to go after Pym and the Pym particle. And we see, especially in this movie, how ridiculous the Pym particle is. Shrinking labs and has a Hot Wheels storage wheel. Hot Wheels storage wheel filled with mini cars.
Full of actual cars, yeah.
That they just like swap out. It was really awesome. It was just watching the car chases where they shrank and grew and shrank and grew and shrank and grew.
Yeah.
That was just entertaining. I loved watching that.
There's this amazing... I haven't laughed so hard. There's an amazing little thing in the movie where Louise is being interrogated, and he was given a truth serum, and it's like, okay, now where is Scott? And he just goes on this long, lengthy story because he's drugged to just talk candidly and be honest, and it's just drawn out, and it's really funny, especially when they act out the scenes where it's his voice, but it's the actors playing out, and playing it like he's telling the story.
But my favorite part is he asked where is Scott, and the story was to explain where Scott was emotionally. Not his actual location.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I told you it's complicated. He's in a very emotional, complicated place.
No, where is he actually?
And Sonny Birch is like, no, where is he literally? He's like, oh,
the woods.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, yeah, that would have saved a lot of time.
And then Ghost pops in, and who is the son of the famous, probably Hank Pym's daughter. Sorry, daughter.
Yeah, because Ghost is...
Yeah, I'm running on to sleep, sorry.
Yeah.
The daughter of Hank Pym's arch-villain from the comics, Egghead.
Yeah.
Silas, or Elias something.
Who died?
Possibly.
It's like, hi, possible villain? No, dead.
Yeah,
they cracked that egg.
They cracked that egg. He got blasted with quantum. You know how that crap works. It's magic.
And it wasn't sunny side up. Maybe he was scrambled. Yes.
Maybe.
But anyway.
Oh, it's egg on my face. Are we done?
I guess so.
Okay. I'm not sure a whole lot else to say about the plot. Egghead died from an explosion from them trying to create some kind of... They just used
quantum portal.
To quote Scott Lang, you just put the word quantum in front of everything. Everything was quantum something, quantum something, quantum something. Because, at this point in our understanding, quantum relativity is magic, and the Pym particle is magic, and it's just magic. Yeah, they could replace the word quantum with, sorcery, the Crimson Bands of Sidorak, and it wouldn't change anything, because the Pym particle doesn't affect anything in what we understand in the year 2018 as science.
Wibbly wobbly quantum mechanics stuff.
And Ava, Egghead's daughter, got hit with the blast, but she didn't die. Instead, the quantum field caused her to phase. And so Hank Pym's buddy, who was...
played by Lawrence Fishburne.
Who was Bill something.
Foster. Bill Foster.
Was it Foster? I thought it was
Foster.
Bill Foster. We'll call him Bill Foster for now.
I think so.
He took in Ava and taught her and built stuff to help her control her ghosty thing. And, by the way, Marvel, put this character in comics and call her Baba Yaga. And the ghost thing, let somebody else be Ghost, she should be Baba Yaga in the comics.
That is a decent name.
That is an awesome name for a character.
Just works off a Russian folklore, why not?
But anyway, but she is, the phasing's getting worse, the treatments aren't helping as much. She lives her life in pain. She's going to die, or possibly even worse. So she is trying to capture Pym's research on getting Janet Van Dyne out of the quantum dimension.
And then, absorb quantum energy from her or something in order to fix the problem.
Yes,
that was the
which
theory.
Could have possibly killed Janet Van Dyne. And that's why Pym, Lang, and Hope were like... yeah, we can't let you do that because you might kill Janet, and I'm Hank Pym, I'm a selfish asshole, I don't care about saving the world.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
They got Janet Van Dyne out of the quantum realm. She had absorbed quantum magic and had quantum-y powers now, and grabbed Ghost's face and went magic! And then Ghost stopped being phasey.
Hey, you're not dying, so now you can have a conscience.
Yep, and also, I don't think it was a permanent fix, because the stinger had them going into the quantum field to
get more
absorb quantum.
And they mentioned specifically how it was for her, for Ghost.
Did they say it was specifically for Ghost?
Yeah, they did.
I know they said it was healing, and I assumed it was for Ghost.
Quantum healing stuff for our new ghost friend.
Yep, you're right, they did say that, for our new ghost friend. And so... the fix was temporary, but it gave him some time to try to figure out a cure. So Scott Lang goes into the stinger, Scott Lang goes into the Quantumverse, and then the radio silence because Pym Hank Pym, Janet Van
And
Dyne,
Hope.
and Hope Van Dyne all got dusted.
Yep, that's our tie-in to Infinity War.
Yep.
They all got erased.
Oh man, we're being invaded by aliens. Now's a good time to climb up on the top of this roof and...
It does seem kind of weird. But,
What's that? Aliens are invading? Hey, Ant-Man Wasp, do you think maybe we could help with this invasion? Nah, we got magic glow dust to collect.
It's like, oh, the authorities are distracted by all of this. This is the perfect time to go out on a roof to do our thing.
Yeah, really.
That's the only thing I can think of is why they did that
Yeah.
thing. But,
beginning of the movie, Hank Pym's, because this is the second stinger, Hank Pym's under house arrest, and they put a bracelet on a giant ant that has been programmed because, like I said, at this point we've just given up pretending that any of this is science, to mimic Scott Lang's
daily routine.
That way,
It all tricks the feds.
It tricks the feds into thinking that Lang is still under house arrest. The second stinger, which actually had me laughing kind of hard for as dumb as it is, had at the end, as soon as I heard the drums playing, I knew it. It was him playing rock band drums.
The ant.
Yeah, the ant playing rock band drums, which is not fair because with those extra limbs, he's just going to be a better drummer.
Yeah.
That's not fair. None of the ant's high scores should count.
But, like the stinger with the erasures, that was pitched to us through advertising and things on the internet as the ending that's going to rock your world. It's going to be so amazing. What does it mean?
It means that they got erased and Lang is currently trapped in the
when I heard all that
zone.
When I heard all that, I knew it was going to be a disappointment. And it was.
I love these people.
It's just a thing.
I love these videos you see where people are like, "Ooh, the secret blank of the Marvel Universe." Guys, I hate to break this to you. The Marvel movies are fun. They're a blast.
They're predictable.
And they're pretty surface level. There's not a whole lot of...
It's not that deep, you guys.
I mean, the DC movies, you see, they're not as good as the Marvel movies. Certainly, they are a mess. They are complicated. They are rife with...
They're not working off a formula, though.
They're not working. They are crowded, and they are a little overblown. But there's some depth there, you know. The Batman argument of, you know, somebody that powerful, if there's even the slightest chance that he could turn on us, we have to take it because he's too powerful. The Justice League animated series is like, you know, there's 10 million humans and one Superman. And if Superman turned on us, we don't stand a chance. So there's some depth in that. These Marvel movies, they're really not that deep. Marvel movies are absolutely popcorn movies, you know? And it's fun, they're fun. Once again, in top 10 movies, the first Iron Man is in my top 10 movies of all time. And that's a list that's got Night of the Living Dead, and Memento, and John Carpenter's Halloween. It's a list that's got some weight, at least in my opinion, some thematic weight to it.
Right.
And I consider Iron Man up there. There's not a lot of depth in Iron Man, but there's a lot of character, there's a lot of humor, and there's really good action. But don't analyze these movies. You're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to get to a bunch of dead ends, or you're going to get to a bunch of clickbait, which is what I feel a lot of people do. So I'm going to say my biggest complaint about this movie. Marvel makes 3 movies. Origin story, sequel story, team-up story. Each of them's the same. The origin story's the same. You've got a character. He's a little troubled. He's dealing with personal issues. He gets a magic power. In the arc reactor, the Pym particle, the super soldier serum, the gamma radiation. These are magic. These are not playing in the realm of science. They get a magic power. They become incredibly strong. Part of that element they're dealing with, Obadiah Stane with Tony Stark's hedonism, you know. Red Skull and Captain America and Red Skull's opposing ideas of jingoism, you know. Emil something. The Abomination and Bruce Banner's attempt to deal with the monster and the destruction he causes, and the FBI, or not FBI, the military after him, Doctor Strange and his refusal to see the new world, and this guy who is an element of this new world that Doctor Strange spends so long refusing to see, they clash. Two people with near identical powers fight. Hero overcomes. He now is a better person, has overcome his personal demon. Sequel story. From either his or his mentor's past, a secret appears. Somebody with near identical powers shows up. They have a big fight. Mentor's like, I'm sorry I hid that from you. I made a mistake. Although it's kind of funny, Black Panther did both the origin story and the sequel story at the same time, because of Garrett Killmonger being from T'Chaka's mistake.
Yeah.
But they fight, and then the hero results, and him and the mentor, they hug it out. Captain America and Nick Fury hug it out. Tony Stark spiritually hugs it out with his father. Be like, oh, Dad, I know you banished Vonko because you thought he was a traitor, but now you taught me how to overcome this problem that's a technical problem, not a personal problem, because we wouldn't want to see Tony Stark deal with a personal problem. No, his arc reactor's poisoning him, he shoots a laser, now he's got a triangle arc reactor, problem solved. I mean, heaven forbid we get a character arc out of Tony Stark after the first movie. And then
T'Chaka in Black Panther. Yeah. And T'Challa, they hug it out in the spirit world. So, they... Resolution solved there, too.
What makes or breaks the Marvel movies tend to be the action, the humor, and the very tiny bits of characterization you get. I thought Black Panther was an okay movie. I wish Killmonger would stop the Black Power thing and make his fight personal, because
they could have. He could have been a really
that personal
good
fight of T'Chaka killing his father. I was behind that. It's like, I've killed so many people. I joined Special Forces. I joined Dog Team Kill Ops. All to get back at T'Chaka. Oh yeah, and also I'm gonna make black people the new conquerors instead of white. No, that crap was boring. It was pointless. There was no reason for it.
What was wrong with just taking the kingdom because it
was owed him?
Yeah, it was stuff was taken from him.
Not taken from my people, taken from me.
Yeah.
I want this. Ghost's plot is, I'm in pain. Well, you might destroy Janet. I don't care. I suffered through something that wasn't my fault. It was Pym's fault. He pays. I get the reward. That's what's fair. And, that's what makes these... And also, Guardians and Spider-Man break the formula. They're pretty unique on their own. And the first Guardians movie is one of the few movies that has made me laugh out loud. Guardians is like an 8.5. Spider-Man Homecoming is like an 8.5. These are just good movies that break the Marvel formula. And of course, the first Iron Man created the origin formula, so it gets a pass.
Maybe Marvel just needs a little bit of a change. But
I could see half of their writing staff getting erased and replaced with some other people.
Yeah, I like it. Yes. Maybe something that needs to be done. Who knows?
Maybe. Although I will say, for all my complaining about the Marvel Universe, I have just the biggest, intellectual, critical boner for Captain Marvel. I am a big Carol Danvers fan. The cartoon Avengers Assembled, that Carol Danvers...
They did a good one with that one.
Who's straightforward, to the point, and just sick of all this crap. That is the Warbird that I want to see, and I really hope that's the Warbird Brie Larson brings to the table.
Let's hope they don't screw it up. That's all I have to say.
Because once again, I've accepted these movies are going to follow the Marvel formula. It is the little things that make or break. It was the childish politics of Civil War that broke it. It was the lack of anything interesting in Iron Man 2 that broke it. It was Paul Rudd's humor and Michael Douglas's humor that made Ant-Man and the Wasp for me.
Yeah, it was really good.
They were both really good.
Oh, there's a moment
Michael
when-
Douglas was in an old movie called The Game. David Fincher. David Fincher's a great director. Seven's one of the best movies of all time. And in it, Michael Douglas plays a rich asshole who doesn't give a shit about this thing. And I feel like that guy and the character in The Game could have just as easily been Hank Pym. Just, oh, I'm a rich asshole, fuck the world. And he didn't even, like, still at the point... I get why he doesn't care about saving the world. His motivation wasn't to save the world. His motivation wasn't to stop a villain. His motivation was to get his wife back. Didn't care. And he wasn't against helping Baba Yaga, but it was like, get my wife back, and then we'll deal with your problem.
I mean, I don't care right now. Rubba dub dub. No, not really. He wasn't Rick. But, you know,
wasn't that far off.
Wasn't far off, but
he was a little less sociopathic than Rick.
Right.
But super genius who developed magic science and.
We gotta go into the quantum realm, Morty. Yeah, I don't know.
And honestly, I could see a little bit of Morty and Paul Rudd, just like in way wants to do good, but in way over his head.
This is completely unrelated, but I had to mention it now. I had an idea. I don't usually make memes or pictures of stuff, but something after Infinity War that popped in my head I wanted to make was a picture that showed Star-Lord and Spider-Man together with the captions, The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Nice.
From the old 90s, you know.
Nice.
Anyway, moving on. I distracted. We do that.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
But there was one thing, speaking of Paul Rudd's humor.
Yeah.
There was that one point where Janet Van Dyne was communicating through Scott.
This was one of the funniest.
He was communicating through Scott from the quantum realm, and so she basically was like living in his body, and it's like for this communication. And so we had Paul Rudd acting like a woman, acting like Janet Van Dyne,
Michelle Pfeiffer's character,
like Michelle Pfeiffer's character, and he was loving his daughter. He was like flirting with his husband. Paul Rudd pulled it off magnificently. It was great.
Especially at the end where they finally like get Janet's physical location in the quantum realm, and she like lovingly celebratory holds his hand, and then Paul Rudd snaps back into him. He's like, what happened? Where did we get here? And then he just looks at him holding.
It's like, what?
Paul Rudd looks at him holding
Michael Douglas.
Yeah, Michael Douglas's hand. It just gives this like confused look, like I know there's an explanation. What is it? Not a word, just the look that says that.
Huh. But yeah, I had to mention that before I moved on.
Like I said, I probably liked it a little better than Infinity War. It was a tighter story. Infinity War's big problem is just too many characters, too many cooks, and
I know a lot of people would have different opinions because Infinity War is so great.
Infinity War was alright. And Infinity War holds an important part in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because of the culmination of 10 years worth of movies. And if Infinity War is going to go down as a footnote in Marvel history or this epic thing that changed how cinema works, we're going to see in 2 movies.
Yeah.
Because it all hangs on the conclusion.
Next up,
we're all waiting for the conclusion.
Yeah, next up's Captain Marvel, and then the second part of Infinity War.
I'm excited. Ronda Rousey was wanting to play the role of.
She can't act.
She can't act. That's why she's in the WWE with all the other non-actors.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, she's not. She's actually not doing bad in the WWE. So.
Is she not? I'm not able to see her very often.
She's kind of just doing the MMA character thing. She's not bad in the WWE.
Okay, fair enough.
She's holding her own. I mean, she's obviously can fight, and
I can't do the work. I can't always see wrestling.
I don't see it as often either. But the little I've seen, she's been doing pretty good in WB. And
okay, fair enough.
She honestly wasn't that bad in Expendables 3, where nobody expected her to act.
But Ronda Rousey has the wrong build for Carol Danvers. It's like, I always felt that Captain Marvel should have this super strength thing going for her, where she does it, she's a lot more powerful than she looks.
Yeah.
Just by nature, she looks like she's small and unassuming, but she's like one of the biggest powerhouses in Marvel.
Standing there
comics.
with Thor.
Yeah.
And,
But she doesn't look at all like she would be.
And I don't think Ronda Rousey has the... Because Ronda Rousey always has this... And I'm not saying this about Ronda Rousey as a human being. She just kind of comes across as smug and...
Yeah.
Almost like what you'd expect a tough guy kind of thing. Like...
Yeah.
Whereas...
the character of Carol
Danvers is... She's kind of smug, but she's not tough guy smug. She's I'm too good for this crap smug.
It's
oh
snarky
boy,
stuff.
oh boy, here's another supervillain. Photon blast. There, I'm done. Call me when it's a real problem.
Peace. Anyway.
Which is apparently how it's going to be in the movie. The
I
90s,
so.
she Earth and fights off Ronan and be like, all right, Nick
I'm
Fury,
out.
Call me when it's a real problem. And Thanos.
Which
Killing
is
half
why
the universe is the real problem.
Which is why it was a friggin' pager in Infinity War.
The 90s.
90s, yeah. It's like she gave him a pager.
I
guess.
I kind of lost it when I saw that in Infinity War. I was like,
Yeah. Good thing that was the last thing you saw before we had to leave the theater, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, overall, I think...
It was good. I liked it. I sit here trash talking the Marvel formula, but the pieces that deviated were great. The action with the shrinking and growing and shrinking, especially the car scenes.
Yes.
Were just so entertaining to watch.
Haha, you got pezzed.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I like the part where Ant-Man, Giant Man, whatever, suit's malfunctioning and the Godzilla scene was great.
Yes.
But his suit's malfunctioning and he's big mode and he's using the truck like a skateboard and he's pumping it with his foot.
Gonna point a gun at you, Flick.
Yeah, just...
Flick it away.
And then where he gets the miniaturized lab box thing and he's like... The guy, Sonny's like holding on to it and he's like, let go. You're just embarrassing yourself. The guy just lets go. And then he flicks him over because fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to use the F word.
It's okay. I mean, what am I gonna do? Get demonetized?
Yeah, really.
I'm not monetized.
Some of the non-car action scenes, especially the early one where they're in the restaurant and Janet's just kind of beating up random dudes, gets dull till Ghost shows up.
Right.
When Ghost shows up, it gets a lot better.
Yeah.
The scene where they're breaking into the school to get the suit, that's kind of funny.
Yes.
Because Scott Lang's using a incomplete version of the suit.
So it's malfunctioning.
And his grow and shrinking keeps messing up, which is a common joke in the movie.
He winds up at like half size, so he actually, in a way, fits in with the kids.
They put like a hoodie on him, so it looked like a kid walking down the hall. I said the scene where he like comes up out of the water all Godzilla-like and...
But yeah, so overall, we liked it. And,
I enjoyed it.
I can recommend it, especially if you've been following the Marvel Universe so far.
If it came down to it, like if my wife wanted to go see it, I would see it again with her. Not something like Civil War, Winter Soldier, where I was like, once is more than enough. I would go see Ant-Man and the Wasp again.
Yeah. I think that's about it, unless you have anything else to add.
Not really.
We've been going on for a while, so
yep.
We're gonna see you for now. That'll be it.
Next time you see me in one of these movie reviews will probably be Captain Marvel.
Yeah, likely.
So, bye.